Hey, this is Jonathan. The question is, I'm interested in doing social media marketing and internet marketing. Can you please give me some advice? So, here's my opinion on this whole thing. So, social media marketing works, internet marketing works. Within internet marketing, you have organic search and SEO, you've got pay per click. It all works. But it doesn't all work at the same level, it doesn't all work at the same speed, it all requires a different investment. So, here's my observation. It's going to evolve over time as technologies are built out, market changes, and we all learn more. But at this moment in time, social media is the hot fad. Well, I don't think it's a fad in that I don't think it's going away. So fad was the wrong word, but it's the big thing right now. I think that service companies and individuals are making money with social media. But I think the guys making the big money are the guys selling the systems on how to use social media and selling the CDs on this is how you do social media. So those are the guys making the most money. I'm not convinced that the typical service company is getting a ton of clients off Facebook and they're just blowing up their business off Facebook. So that's my first opinion. My second opinion is that the amount of effort involved to build social media, to do Twitter and Facebook and all these other things, does not have a direct correlation or does not have the same ROI as doing pay-per-click marketing or SEO marketing. So I think you got to spend a lot of effort to get dollars back. So for every dollar you spend and for all the time you spend doing whatever those things are that are involved in building up your real social media presence, I'm not convinced you get back a whole lot of dollars for those, and I'm not convinced you get them back fast enough, and I'm convinced they're a little bit more challenging to measure. So, with that being said, I gravitate towards SEO and pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is instantaneous. You spend some money, you put some ads out there, you either get some money back or you fail fast. It's instantaneous feedback. You figure out what works fast, you figure out what doesn't work, you figure it out all really fast. If it works, you make some sales and you make them immediately. You turn on a pay-per-click, an AdWords campaign with Google, and you could literally be receiving money tomorrow from the success of that campaign. Then you have SEO and organic search. That's basically all those listings in Google and Yahoo and Bing that are in the main part of the page when you do a search. When you click on those are essentially free. When we're talking about pay-per-click and you click on those at the top of the page or down the right side of the page, those are paid search advertisements, meaning that every time you click on them, that advertiser's paying 30 cents to several dollars to $20 or $30 a click, depending on how hot that search term is. And so SEO takes longer. There's a lot involved, like publishing articles and getting backlinks and having the right copy and having all the pages on your website named properly and doing testing and multivariate testing and all kinds of things to really get the traffic to that site and then get that traffic to convert and actually buy, to continue on to other pages on that site. And actually testing and multivariate testing and all of that, that's all true on pay-per-click as well. I'm not going to go into the details of that stuff, but the point is that there's a lot involved. So I personally think the slowest is social media. That's my take at this moment. I think the next slowest to establish is SEO, organic search, to get your page, your website to rise up the rankings in Google and be on page number 1 and move to the top. Then I think the fastest is pay-per-click. So I personally think the internet strategy is to go out and to figure out what your market's looking for, figure out what keywords they're searching on, buy domain names of that type at GoDaddy, optimize your website around those terms, optimize the copy you write on the website around those terms, to write articles that incorporate those terms and that have links that point back to your website called backlinks. You do all that stuff. At the same time, you set up a Google AdWords account, you write some copy, you write basically a little ad that appears that directs them back to your website, which actually isn't the ideal solution, but points them ultimately to a page that sells your services. And I've got a very strong opinion on how to do that, but that's a very in-depth lesson. We do a lot of that. And so you write this AdWords campaign, it points back to your website, and so you get instantaneous, very quickly, you get traffic right back to your website. And then all the while, while you're doing all this, your SEO stuff's kind of going on and your website's slowly coming up the ranks. So internet strategy, without going into too much detail, I believe is to start with figuring out what it takes to set your website up properly so that it will have a chance at being ranked highly, and starting your AdWords Google campaign immediately. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be able to sell business using AdWords day one. And eventually, over months and months, your website's going to raise in the rankings in Google, Yahoo, and Bing to the point where you could discontinue all your AdWords campaigns and just rely on the organic search, because now you're on page 1 near the top in Google, Yahoo, and Bing when somebody searches on the lawn care term or irrigation or tree care or landscaping term or plumbing or whatever the term is you use, or pest control. And you've now risen in the ranks, and so they see you when they come to that first page and they potentially click on you. I actually think the strategy is you continue AdWords and you let your page rise in the rankings, and you get both high SEO rankings or organic search rankings and pay-per-click. I think you do both. But the point is that you start doing AdWords today so you can get instantaneous results and you can start selling business today, and you don't wait 6 months till your website makes it to page 1 on Google. You don't have time to wait. Let's make money today. So you start with AdWords now and just do a bunch of stuff. Then once you get all that stuff worked out, you do social media. But you do social media after you do some really in-depth testing to figure out what are the best headlines to use, what's the best offer to make, what's the most compelling benefits to offer to my clients, how do I capture their information, name and email address, so I can continue to market back to them every month with tips and benefits and coupons and all kinds of stuff, so I can just stay in front of them. How do I get the prospects information so that even if they don't buy from me, every week they're going to get some kind of a message from me that I stay in front of them, and the next time whoever that other company is they chose to do service with instead of me, next time they're upset with them, I'm in front of them. My message was in front of them, and they remember them and say to themselves, man, I should have just gone with those guys in the first place. And they call you up and they buy from you. How do you set your stuff up to do all of that? How do you set your website to